Hey guys, how's it going? Got a little something different this time. I'm going to take a break from the stack series. Probably got enough for 2 or 3 more stack videos, so all you that have been tuning into that and like that, I'll still have a few more of those going. I appreciate everybody watching those and all the comments, and I'm having just as much fun as everybody else is, because most of the time I don't know what's in those stacks either. It's been so long since I looked at that stuff. But something a little bit different. I got a package in from Mycomicshop a couple days ago, and I also got a package from tomorrows.com. Anybody that has got stuff from them, they know they make stuff like back issue and alter ego, and all the stuff relating comics history and comic artists, and just anything like that in general. It has some really great stuff. But one thing I got from them I want to show. They have I love the back issue magazine because it has a different theme, every month about the 70s or 80s or something happening in comics. And this one was dedicated to the Treasury comics from back in the 70s. And they actually printed it in a tabloid size, or a Treasury size. This is number 61. And this is dedicated to all the Treasury editions that Marvel and DC put out in the 70s. And this is actually an homage to like a DC Treasury that I got that I'll show you. And this one's actually by Alex Ross, and it's a wraparound cover, and it's just gorgeous. I'll show you the original. My copy's kind of beat up, but if I can get it out of the bag. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure I've got another copy of this that's better, but actually that cover was based on this Treasury edition, number C48, and this actually reprints a 60 story where it was the Legion versus Mordru. Like I say, this is a wraparound cover. Like I say, I'm a big fan of Mike Grell's work. But this is pretty cool because it had all the Legion that was there at that time. What's really cool about the back issue, there's a lot of extra heroes that weren't in the original. So you can kind of look on the back, and over here you can kind of pick up, it's a Pharaoh lad, by that in that point in time, pre-crisis, he was already dead. And there's some other characters in there that's not in the original, but I just thought this was just a great cover. Anyway, there's some great articles in here about the Treasuries. There's Shazam. Reprinted Action Comics, the first Spider-Man. And there's articles on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. For some reason, those are the most scarce. I guess because there's probably a low print run. Some more Rudolph stuff. But I love these things when I was a kid. I mean, you go up and they'd have them like on a little cardboard display. My mom thought it was terrible that a comic that cost a whole $1. But here's some more stuff. Really need to catch up on the Marvel Treasuries. I've got most of the DC stuff, but here's DC's adaptation of the Bible. Had Nestor Redondo art. It was beautiful. It's one of my favorites. What else? This was the big one. Superman and Spider-Man. I've read most of this. They're just it's just full of great articles and stuff. And then it's got a checklist, actually, of all these. So go through, and anybody that's interested in getting these, this is a pretty much complete checklist of all the Marvel and DC stuff. What else? And then we have big Superman Muhammad Ali. Neil Adams. Actually, the cover was going to be drawn by Joe Kubert, and let me find it. And here's like a sketch of the original cover that Kubert did, and then the finished product by Neil Adams. So, probably the most beautiful art Neil Adams did. But there was a, for some reason, I don't know why, here's one that I don't have, Superman vs. Shazam, Rich Buckler art. So that one is on the want list. But anyway, enough of that. Like I say, you guys that are interested in the history comics, maybe some of the older collectors and hopefully some of the new ones, Two Morrows has got some great books, like I say, back issue, and they always send like a little pamphlet, sort of like a catalog, showing all the stuff they have. And here is a book I am definitely going to pick up. It is called Comic Book Creator, and the first issue is dedicated to Jack Kirby. There's actually a cover painted by Alex Ross with a lot of Kirby's characters in behind us, so that's a must-have, especially for Kirby fans. Okay, on comics, just a little short stack of stuff. Some of it's newer, most of it's newer, a little bit older stuff. Anybody that's followed the new Justice League book, the Justice League of America title came out 3 months ago, and they had like all the flag variant covers of all the states. So I picked up the regular edition with the American flag, and when I found out about all the variants, I had to go back and get these. So since I was born in Washington State, in Tacoma, I had to get the Washington State flag variant. So there's that one. And since I've been in Kentucky since 1970, here's a Kentucky state flag. So I thought that was kind of cool. I've really been enjoying Superior Spider-Man. And I know some people aren't real big fans of Humberto Ramos, the artist that's on some of these. But I'm really been a pretty big fan of his since he did Impulse for DC back in the 90s. So I picked up issue 6 and 7 of that. And I think things are kind of unraveling for Doc Ock in these books, and people are kind of figuring out that this is not our Spider-Man. And this is a good one. The starting the Avengers. Really starting to enjoy this book. Hadn't picked up any Spider-Man in a long time, and I got back in on the tail end of the like issue 700 and the new Superior Spider-Man. So I'm liking this pretty well. Okay, now here, these next two are a series I didn't even know existed, but I was just, Alex Nino was one of my favorite artists, and I think I showed a couple of Rima comics where he did the backup, like a sci-fi series called Space Voyagers, and I always loved Alex Nino's art in the DC Mystery titles, and it's just, it's beautiful. I mean, but he did a series for Image called Dead Ahead about 4 years ago, and it was like another zombie apocalypse thing. But I picked up the first issues from Mycomicshop for like $1 or something like that, and it's all Alex Nino art. And for fans of the horror and zombie genre, man, these books are just beautiful. It's written by Clark Castillo, I think, but Nino does all the art, and the colorist I think is Moose Bauman, and the color in these things are awesome. Of course, you can tell on the cover. That's just an awesome cover there. We've got number 1. Here's number 2. So I know we got a lot of horror fans out there. So these I haven't read them yet, but I'm going to very soon, and try to pick up issue number 3 wherever I can. But I was like, I was really surprised that Alex Nino did anything for Image. I didn't even know he was still drawing comics at that time. So this is only about 4 years old, but I just thought these covers were great. Okay, I also tried the Guardians of the Galaxy. I got I think one of the earlier videos I did, I bought like the issue number 1, but the comic leading into that, Guardians of the Galaxy 0.1, kind of told the origin of Star-Lord and how all that got started. And this is really a great story. Of course, you got Bendis doing the scripts, and Steve McNiven. I love his artwork. So anybody that's a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy and hasn't got this yet, this is the lead into issue number 1. It's really, really good story. And I've been keeping up with the Age of Ultron storyline. I'm really liking it so far. So this is book 4. Luke Cage on the front. And there's kind of a little twist at the end of issue 3 leading into this one. So it's kind of not what you expect, but I'm liking the story so far. And I've been getting all the crossovers, so. And you can't have a video without apes in it, right? At least that's what Shannon says. But I found another variant to the current series, Planet of the Apes Cataclysm. And this is by Phil Noto. And I just thought this was like a great cover. So you probably got Dr. Zaius and Zira and Cornelius. This is Taylor and Nova in the background. And whichever one of the guerrilla generals this is, Ursus or Aldo or whatever. Urko? No, Urko's in the TV series. But you'll kind of see the little spaceship that Taylor was in kind of coming down there. I just thought that was an awesome cover. And what's cool with these is the variants, doesn't cost any more than the originals for most cases. But I thought that was a cool cover. And I picked up the latest issue that came out, number 8. Sort of like the don't want to spoil anything for somebody who hadn't read it yet, but so if you don't want to know where the storyline's going, turn me off now. That didn't come out right at all, did it? Anyway, here's number 8. Sort of shows some of the aftermath of the cataclysm, with the moon exploding and all that. So this is a really great series. Okay, last thing I got, some of you have been keeping up with the Batman and Death of Damian Wayne, Robin storyline and all that. I had this book before, and I think I sold it, or else I lost it, or something years ago. But I thought I'd go ahead and get myself another copy of it. But this is actually, if not the first appearance, then the the conception of Damian Wayne. This Batman Son of the Demon by Mike Barr and Jerry Bingham. Really cool story. I found another near mint copy. This is actually still in shrink wrap, but I got a pretty good deal on it. But this is a really great story, and people want to know the origins or the backstory of Batman and Talia and Damian Wayne and all that. So this is the issue where they get down and dirty. But it's a really good story. Alright guys, that's all I got. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get off here and try to catch up on some vids and throw some comments out. And your guys' comments are welcome. Appreciate everybody that watches, everybody that subscribes. And I will see you soon. Onward and upward.